Hello friends, today I will talk about the concept attitude. So first let's discuss what is the meaning of attitude. When we say the guy has an attitude, most often we assume that the guy is either ill-behaved or have a don't care behavior. This is purely a misconception about the actual meaning of attitude, because in reality we all have an attitude. The nature of attitude is different among people, but as we are all living human beings, we all have attitude. Attitude is the expression of feeling towards something. The feeling could be favorable or it could be unfavorable. We all have either negative or positive feelings towards people, object, events, or anything. The example could be, I love my job, I hate my boss, I am not interested in politics, etc. Attitude is changing in nature because our perception of everything is changing in nature. As the perception of something is changing, so the attitude towards something is always changing in nature. But the attitude is not a single entity. The outcome of attitude is built in many layers. Attitude has three components: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. So this cognitive, affective, and behavioral, now let's discuss in details. So first layer is cognitive. Cognitive attitude is the perception or the belief or the description towards something. When we are experienced something, first thing comes the cognitive part of our attitude. Which one is bad, which one is good, is the predetermined factor in our mind. Once we experienced it, cognitive attitude activates. Like when we see a blind person calling for help, our cognitive attitude makes us feel sad, and a desire to help him out starts to grow. Then the affective part. It is the reflection of our mental state in the form of the statement. Like after watching the blind man asking for help, you start to talk or you start to make a statement like, poor fellow, I am so sad to see him like that. The little sentence is the reflection of your inner mind. It shows how sad you are to see like that. Lastly, the behavioral component of attitude comes. It is the final process. In this component, the statement is made which describes your intention. Like in this case, you will start to talk to the blind man like, let me help you. Now let's discuss how our attitude is formed. Attitude is not inherited properties. The attitude is changing in nature as we have already discussed. Our attitude is changing because we are gaining experience. Experience makes us change our attitude. Generally, two causes are responsible for changing our attitude. First one is the direct experience, and second one is the social learning. So let's probe deep into that. First one is the direct experience. It is the strongest source. Our attitude is strictly depending upon our experience. Direct experience gives knowledge of something. When something happens which has happened before, we start to act accordingly, because as we have experience, we can predict its origin or its cause. We can analyze its consequences, and we can forecast its fate. Like when we heard that the storm is coming, we are showing a negative attitude because we know that the consequences of the storm is bad. And what will happen, and the nature of suffering, and the probability what will be the cause of the storm is. Direct experience gives attitude which is durable, strong, and powerful. After direct experience, let's discuss about the social learning. Our learning, our beliefs, our preferences are mostly depending upon the persons around us, which means the social surroundings. That is why our attitude is depending upon, or we can say our attitude is formed by the influence of our parents, families, friends, religious surroundings, ethical cultures, and many other sorts of things. This is called the social learning. Our parents are mostly influencing the process of development of our attitude. Also, our peer group or the colleagues or friends shape our attitude. Like if we are working in an office where everyone is workaholic, everyone is busy in their work, your attitude will be like them. When you enter in a restaurant where everyone is talking softly, and your attitude will be changed to assimilate yourself into the environment, and you will too start talking softly. It is our nature to assimilate ourselves into an environment. In the long run, it will be permanent and ultimately will be our attitude. Also, who we admire or respect, we are always trying to copy them because we love to see ourselves like the person we respect. Apart from that, the individual appearance is also responsible to change our attitude. Like in case of students, the teacher can put an impact on the students to change their attitude. If the teacher is enthusiastic and serious about what is doing, then student will have their attitude accordingly. Attitude plays a vital role in the organization. Practically speaking, in many instances, the employees who are working in the organization for some time not always happy with the organization. Organization should know the attitude of their employee because the attitude of the employee is directly influencing the productivity of the organization. If the employee are having negative attitude towards the organization, then the output of the organization will decrease. Organizations should always try to find a way to assess the attitude of the employee. There are different kinds of job attitude can be observed which can predict the attitude of their employees. The attitude of the employees are job satisfaction, job involvement, organizational commitment, perceived organizational support, and lastly, the employee engagement. Every organization must look into those factors. They are considered as the indicator of employee attitude or employee satisfaction towards the organization. So let's discuss in details. So first one is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is one of the most important indicator of the attitude of employees. Job satisfaction tells us whether the employee like their job or not. Job satisfaction is depending upon many factors like pay structure, opportunities for promotion, opportunities for learning, the behavior of the colleague and the boss, work pressure, work-life balance, level of independence, even the situation of the employee in other organization and many other. In India, most of the employees who are satisfied with their job, a large portion is satisfied with the team, but they are not satisfied with the pay structure. Organizations should always consider the level of job satisfaction. Every organization should know what will be the consequences of job dissatisfaction if they are not handled properly. A model named exit, voice, loyalty and neglect is effective tools. By this tool, we can understand the response of the employees who are dissatisfied to their job. So let's discuss on that. So the chart is showing 4 colored boxes. The 2 boxes are red and 2 boxes are green. Red boxes are regarded as destructive response and the green boxes are representing the constructive part. The destructive response is composed of two parts, exit and neglect, and the constructive response is composed of two parts, voice and loyalty. Also, the upper two boxes that are exit and voice are also regarded as active responses, and the lower two boxes, neglect and loyalty, are known as passive responses. So both destructive and constructive responses have two types, active and passive. So let's discuss each response first. So first one is exit. Exit response is the response of an employee when he or she is decided to leave the organization for better opportunity. Then comes the neglect. Here the employees are showing indifferent or don't care about the responsibilities towards the organization. They are not expressing their problem to the organization, but they start to do certain things like absenteeism, late, reducing effort, and increase error. Next comes the constructive components. First one is voice. Response is both constructive and active. During this time, the employees are always attempting to improve the situation in the organization, which makes them unhappy. They are always trying to discuss the problem, and they are always trying to give suggestion and many other positive sorts of things. Next comes the loyalty. Here the employees are not taking the active part in the improvement process, but they are optimistic about the organization. As they have trust in their organization, they stay in the organization and waiting for the betterment. So this is all about job satisfaction. Now let's discuss about the job satisfaction and job performances. It is said that you can only expect loyalty from someone to you if you have shown loyalty to them. The same goes for the organization. If the employee can see that his or her employer or the boss or the organization is taking care of him or her, then the employee will taking care of their organization. Satisfied employees are performing more than expected because they love their organization. Many researchers have shown that there is a significant correlation existed between job satisfaction and the level of job performance. Then comes the job involvement. It tells how much the employees are taking care of their job or how much the employees are serious about their job. Employees who are having good job involvement know how valuable they are for the organization. There is a close relationship between job involvement and the psychological empowerment. In case of psychologically empowered employees, they feel that they are valuable for the organization and they are enjoying autonomy. They know how organizational success is depending upon their success. Next is the organizational commitment. Here, the employees are willing to remain in the organization as they give value to their organization and they want to involve in the goal of the organization always. Organizational commitment is three-dimensional. Affective commitment, where the employees are emotionally attached to the organization, they love their job and knows the value of it. In case of continuous commitment, employees are being committed to the organization as they are concerning on their economical point of view or the monetary point of view. To be specific, as they are getting salary from the organization, so they are committed to their organization. And last dimension is the normative commitment, where the employees are committed to their organization as they are bounded by moral or ethical issue. These type of employees are feeling that if they leave the organization, then the employer will have serious problem. Then the perceived organizational support. Perception of the organizational support is an important issue because if the employee feels that the organization is taking care of their employees and the organization is committed towards the well-being of the employees, then a positive attitude from the employee can be observed from them. And lastly, the employee engagement. The employees are said to be engaged in the job when the employees are satisfied with their work, they are enthusiastically doing their job and always keen to learn new things to improve their skills, and they have a good interaction with their colleagues and the boss.